All right, so let's continue looking at chapter one. So what you're going to do, I'm going to show you. I need you to make sure that you are on actively learn page 4. We left off on the last lesson here in the middle of page 4 where we had looked at all of our characters. So we're going to start here on page 4 on actively learn of All Quiet on the Western Front and start here with the word they. Things that we're going to be looking at. So I'm going to flip back to my PowerPoint. I want us to look at. We're going to look at these two sections. So we're gonna stop in a couple spots, but in this first section, we're going to notice various incidents and the way the soldiers respond to them. And you can put this in your notes. Just put this in your notebook because these are things that you then can put back on your document, and I will give time for that. But I want you to just kind of jot down as we come through them between this one first section. We're gonna just notice various, so right here, notice various incidents and the way the soldiers respond to them. And remember, incident can be an event or a conversation that takes place. So, starting on page 4 of Actively Learn says, today is wonderfully good. Mail has come, and almost every man has a few letters and papers. We stroll over to the meadow behind the billets. Crop has the round lid of a margarine tub under his arm. Remember margarine. On the right side of the meadow, a large common latrine has been built, a roofed and durable construction. That is for recruits who as yet have not learned how to make the most of whatever comes their way. We want something better. Scattered about everywhere, there are separate individual boxes for the same purpose. They are square, neat boxes with wooden sides all round, have unimpeachably satisfactory seats. On the sides are hand grips, one to shift them about. We move 3 together in a ring and sit down comfortably, and it will be 2 hours before we get up again. I will remember how embarrassed we were as recruits in barracks when we had to use the general train. There were no doors, and 20 men sat side by side as in a railway carriage, so that they could be reviewed by all at one glance, for soldiers must always be under supervision. Since then, we have learned better than to be shy about such trifling immodesty. In time, it's far worse than that to come easy to us. So they're just going to the bathroom out in the open. Yeah. And they're using little bathrooms or like little commodes, but they're out in the open, hanging out, doing their business. This is not a big deal to them anymore. Here in the open air, though, the business is entirely a pleasure. I no longer understand why we should always have shied at these things before. They are, in fact, just as natural as eating and drinking. We might perhaps have paid no particular attention to them had they not figured so large in our experience, nor been such novelties to our minds. To the old hands they had long been a mere matter of course. The soldier is on a friendlier terms than other men with stomach and intestines. Three-quarters of his vocabulary is derived from these regions, and they give an intimate flavor to expressions of his greatest joy as well as of his oneself or of his deepest indignation. It is impossible to express oneself in any other way so clearly and pithily. Our families and our teachers will be shocked when we go home, but here it is the universal language. So anything to do with their stomachs or their bathroom routines is normal conversation. Enforced publicity has, in our eyes, restored the character of complete innocence to all these things. More than that, there is so much a matter of course that the comfortable performance is fully as much enjoyed as the playing of a safe top blush. Not for nothing was the word latrine rumor invented. These places are the regimental gossip shop and common rooms. We feel ourselves, for the first time, being better off than in any white tiled convenience. There it can only be hygienic. Here, beautiful. These are wonderfully carefree hours. Over us in the blue sky, on the horizon floats bright yellow sunlit observation balloons and the many little white clouds of the anti-aircraft shells. Often they rise in a sheaf as they follow off after an we hear the muffled rumble of the front only as a very distant thunder, bumblebees droning but by quite drown it. Around us stretches the flowery meadow. The grasses sway their tall spears. The white butterflies flit around the float on the soft, warm wind of the late summer. We read letters and newspapers and smoke. We take off our caps and lay them down beside it. The wind plays with our hair, it plays with our words and thoughts. 3 boxes stand in the midst of glowing red field poppies. We set the lids of the margarine tub on our knees and so have a good table for a game of scratch. Crop has the cards with him. After every misery over, we have a round of nap. Each one could sit like this forever. The notes of an accordion float across from the billets. Often we lay aside the cards and look about us. One of us will say, "Well, boys," or "It was a near thing that time," and for a moment we fall silent. There is in each of us a feeling of constraint. We are all sensible of it. It needs no words to communicate it. It might easily have happened that we should not be sitting here on our boxes today. It came damn near to that. And so everything is new and brave, red poppies, and good food, cigarettes, and summer breeze. Crop asks, "Anyone seen Kimrick lately?" "He's up at St. Joseph's," I tell him. Mueller explains that he has a flesh wound in his thigh. A good blighty. We decide to go and see him this afternoon. Crop pulls out a letter. Cantorick sends you all his best wishes. We laugh. Mueller throws his cigarette away and says, "I wish he was here." All right, so go back. Basically, we're talking about these boys in the bathroom. So take a few moments, note down the incidents and the way the soldiers respond to them.